So how do you feel whenever people think you are doing too much? You are overreaching with this lawyer status of yours?
I have come to realize that if you want to heal, if you want to move on in life, if you want to let go, you need to move from the environment that dragged you into, the situation that you are in. You cannot be in the depression, the anxiety, whatever it is, and you are in that same location. It's going to be very hard to heal. But when you are out of that location, out of that environment, the healing process is the quickest. You will not even realize. Because the 4 years that I did in the university, to me, was like 2 days. Because I was outside there. So I was able to focus on education 100%.
Right.
I was able, but if I was with the community, you will see them, you will see things, and then of course. So it was good. At the end of the day, to me, I love that I chose that decision.
Looking back, is there a particular moment or lesson that reinforced your commitment to becoming a lawyer?
Definitely. I have said this in many of my interviews that I haven't said it yet, but I was actually a science student. So growing up here, because of the language barrier, most of the community leaders, when they are going to see their lawyers, they will need somebody to interpret. So they will just take me or call me and say, "Hey, Julie, go and be a translator." So you will hear the things that happen at the court or even their legal battles they are suffering, whatever it is. And I could see how these white people treat them. Truly, like they will have to wait in lines and the white person will come and they will just attend to the person. When you go there, they will just be saying one thing. And that's what they are saying. I mean, the white person is saying it's not making sense, but the black person is like, okay, he knows what he's doing. She's not actually the person is failing you. It is not administration. It's not the government. It is actually your lawyer, but they can't really say it that way. So once I wrote the university entrance exams and I was pending and thinking of which career to choose, I initially chose nursing. But later I'm like, what? After a discussion with a lawyer, why don't I go for this law thing? Because I do believe that I am eloquent. I am very like this activist spirit is in me, whatever it is. So why not go for it? And also my auntie kind of like said, hey, you're going to get money. So yeah, the money aspect was also ringing in like, okay, if I can do this and help people and at the same time make money, why not?
That was interesting. I follow you on TikTok. You came out, complaining bitterly about the fact that people usually see you as someone who is a bit pompous or believe in herself so much, parading the fact that you are a lawyer here and there. How does that make you feel? How do you feel whenever people think you are doing too much? You are overreaching with this lawyer status of yours.
Yeah. So today I was actually talking about this with a friend, and it is actually kind of sad, to have such a great opportunity to showcase that, hey, this is the gift, this is the talent, this is the certificate, this is the platform that God has, put in us, and then to grace, the community that I come from, because unfortunately, we do not have somebody like me in the country that I am right now.
Right.
So it should have been like something of a pride, not just for myself, but for everyone in my community, that you're going to get somebody who speaks your language, who understands your experience, because I came as an immigrant. I came as a child and I've lived in the country for at least a decade. So you do not have to explain too much. I think the backlash or the bad comments or like, all these things because of jealousy. That's the first thing. Enviness, and also the fact that you are of an age that they think that you are still a child. Because most people came here, like I said, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and they wrote this notion there that, hey, Spain is only for you to do manual works, like do labor works. nothing of like a highly skilled, professional jobs. So for somebody to come out and say, hey, today I am of this profession, what are you saying? Of course, it makes them restless because you are kind of like proving them wrong. And how dare you are a kid? They saw you when I came here without like a breast, and now you have breast, you think you have. So of course, I do know where they're coming from. But sorry for the word. Do I give a damn? Nah. I'm actually glad that I'm here, and I'm actually going. I've not even started. That's why I always tell people, like, they don't know that I actually match their match. Like, their energy, I match it the worst. But sometimes, because of the profession, you need to be, act as a professional. But all these things, it doesn't really push me at all. Because, yeah, we have so many professionals in Spain, and they need to speak up. They need to let people know that we can make it here. The language is not a barrier. If you choose to study here, you will become somebody great. And we need to start now so that we will look like UK, US, when you will see a Black doing something, and we'll be like, wow. Yeah, when you see a Black person, oh my God, you will just see a conductor, and you will be amazed. Just like a bus driver, and you'll be amazed because you have not seen a lot. Right. You will see a medical doctor and like, oh my God, you speak Chi, you are. Why? When our parents came here years and years ago, and they have even given birth to children here, why can't they also become great like other races than other African communities? Because we are not the only ones here, and they are making their country proud. So why aren't we encouraging people? I don't know why, but the Ghanaian community, I don't know. It's really sad. And so a lot of professionals, once they reach the level of which they don't want to be near the Ghanaian community because of this negativity. Even if you want to do great, even if you want to do something better, hey, you are doing too much. Hey, it's okay. Be calming down. My dear, I'm just talking about my profession. I need clients. I need to reach a lot of people. I need to say who I am. So there's no bad thing of saying that. So if you have issue, then you have to deal with yourself. The problem is you, not me. But it is what it is. So we move on.
We move on. Wow, I love that note. We move on. And Juliana, on that note, I would like to know, or we would like to know, what is your biggest fear as a woman, as a Black woman living in Spain, as an immigrant? What has been your greatest fear?
Ooh, I think my greatest fear is also the weapon I'm using to be who I am. It is to be a failure, because all my life you want to reach this position. This is the only thing you have dreamt of, because you left home. I left Ghana. I felt this disconnect from Ghana. Now the thought of Ghana to me is like a strange woman, like something I can't feel when they kind of touch. I do not know how to communicate with my mother for a longer period, because of that 10 years of being here separated from her. With my friends, I do not talk. Everything that's supposed to be who I am, my community, I have lost it. And I chose to, go for this part, which is dedication. So if I have lost this part of me being like part of a community, I can't even agree to, fail on this educational path, because it is not just on me, but the next generation. And also, this older generation are going to say, we said it. You see, that's why we say we should not go to school here, because even when you go to school, you will not be able to get a job. You will not be able to become entrepreneur. You will not be able to see this person, lady that said she was the Ghanaian lawyer. Now see where she is now. So it's like the pressure is not actually coming from the profession I'm doing, but to be able to withstand time with what I'm doing. And I'm doing two jobs at the same time. I work with organization, and I'm working on part-time as as a lawyer. So I'm doing this entrepreneurship, and I'm also doing this. It's a whole lot. and I can't fail, because if I fail, I'm just not failing myself. I'm failing the next generation, and I'm giving these people, the older generation, like proving what they have been saying for years that they are right, but actually they are not right.
How would you define success? Because you spoke
So,
of failure.
yeah,
So failure, definitely, if it's not failure, then that means a success.
yeah,
So in your
yeah.
opinion, how would you define success?
To me, it's just like two words. Being that best version of yourself. So it's not just being that level of like financial, breakthrough that a lot of people think of, but being that emotionally there, being mentally there, and then physically your health and all that aspect. So when you reach a point in your life when you are not pressured, when the outside, the external cannot affect you, that's when you have reached your successful self. So to me, it is the self that is important, not the external, like the richness and all that. Because that one, some people can gain it. Some people can have, this all richness and still feel empty. So you need to not feel that void that, okay, I'm lacking something and then you still have the money. So I want to have it all. I really want to have it all. Yeah. So that's to me being successful. And so far I've not gotten to that place yet. But yeah, hopefully.
Okay. You really want to have it all. When you say you really want to have it all, what do you mean by that? Can you kindly clarify that aspect for us?
Okay. When I say I want to have it all, not just being somebody that people will know as, oh, this lady is a successful Black woman because she has a business or she is a lawyer and she's doing great in her profession. No, I want to be seen as, okay, somebody that is also mentally okay or stable, somebody who is helping, the community, not just the Black community, the community that I am, because they have actually supported me in many ways. Somebody that I will not be pressured to do anything. And also, to have a family of my own and be able to give back, which is internally and of course also outside. So to me, that is having it all. And I know I can have it all too. Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, Juliana, what advice would you give to that young lady out there who probably feels disappointed or feels discouraged because maybe she has been influenced or she has been told that, hey, as a woman, you cannot have it all? What advice would you give to that young lady?
Do not pay attention to the naysayers. I always say, if you're going to give your ears to what people have to say, people have so many things to say, except to themselves. So please, being a lady or not, especially in this new era that we are of technology, social media, where everybody wants to prove a point, but because people have data without even no certificate, no educational background, they think they have the right, the audacity to talk to you anyhow. Please remind yourself, have that self-esteem. Know that you are capable more than you can even imagine. And anything that you put yourself to, trust me, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a path that you are not going to have any kind of like strength or nothing like that. It is going to be hard because first you're a lady, but later on you will see that the glory is actually at the other side and it is actually digging up. So please do not pay attention to the naysayers. I always say that.
Please don't pay attention to the naysayers. Thank you very much, Juliana, for this inspiring and powerful statement of yours. Juliana, could you share 5 main life lessons you have learned along your journey and explain why each has been important for you?
So the first thing is the one I learned in the Sunday school, which is trust God. The reason why this is the first thing I would say is because sometimes you will not understand the journey. You will think that probably you are doing something wrong somewhere. And so if you do not trust God in the process, you might flip and flop, So it is always good to trust the process, but trust God, that God is there, God exists, and God will take you through. And the second thing is that whatever that you choose to do, so far as it is something that is not going to harm anybody. So far as this something that is not going to harm anybody, and then it is something that is going to benefit you, being educational or being maybe personal thing or professional, please do not think you are going to have it easy. And so you have to know that you have to do double of the job. Because a lot of people think that once you start, it's going to be so simple, it's going to be easy. No, actually, the first step that I had, the later part, it will just come easily. So you have to know that, okay, if I'm about to start this, I should understand that it's going to be hard. So that mentally you will prepare yourself for it. So that one will help. And the third thing I would say is about know yourself. Know your self-worth. And I'll repeat it again. If you do not know your self-worth in this era, you will lose yourself trying to please people. You will lose yourself trying to please families, trying to please relationships. Because I quite remember just when I was done with my senior high school studies, and then I have to pursue this university thing. I was in a relationship with somebody. The person was like, we need to marry. So at that time, you have to choose between marriage and school.
And school.
I'm like, I'm young. I'm not going to be fool in this case. So I chose education, and I'm really glad that I chose that. So you have to know your self-worth to trust your decision. Because if you do not know yourself, anybody can just tell you what to do. And if you are going to listen to people, you are not going to have a happy ending. So that's the fourth thing. I think the fourth thing, right? And the last thing is that do you do not pay attention to all this. Do you, because this life goes on. The way life goes on and move on, and things things are happening currently in the place that we are. There was this flooding thing that happened in Valencia, and you have to think, okay, we are in Spain, so they should have given us some holidays. No, Monday I need to go back to work, and some people are dying. There are some people are mixing.
Right.
Some people have lost their houses, but life still moves on. So you have to do you. You shouldn't be like, what do people say? What do people do? No, my darling, do you, because everybody will adjust. So you have to feel yourself. Yeah, that one is something I always tell myself in order to, move on. When people start bringing me so much, some people like to, give you recommendation. Okay, no, I think you should do this and this and that. I'm like, wait a minute. Where is this person coming from? You are not intelligent than me. You do not have more degrees than me. So why do you think you can tell me what to do with my life? Unless you are the one who pays school for me. If you don't pay my school fees, I do not want to hear your recommendation. Thank you. Next. So that's what I say.
Thank you. Next. Do you, the world would adjust? Do you like to be remembered? I mean, you have advised us to do us. And whilst we are doing us, please, we would like to know, how would you like to be remembered? Or what legacy would you like to leave behind?
As somebody who was unapologetically herself, as somebody who was able to stand through all the storms, as somebody who is going to be the voice of the voiceless. Because I think I've not even started yet. And so the hope is that my future me will see this now and say, okay, you said all these things, so you have to do it. I have to be the spokeswoman, for people that are in that vulnerable situation, people that they think that if they voice out whatever they are going through, they are going to, get this backlash or whatever it is. No, I have to be known as somebody who do not care about the consequences that is also kind of imaginary, because people do not really care that much. A lot of people will be thinking, okay, this person cares so much about my life. No, people do not care, my dear. So I want to do me. Yeah, at the end of the day, as I am preaching it, I also have to do it. So I think so.
Also have to do you. So guys, audience, as you heard from our lawyer, we have to do us. Yeah, the world will definitely adjust.